Okay, my camera is being a little weird, but we'll get it working. So he says. Thank you, TBD. Oh, and my mic. Mic check. Mic. Okay. How's the volume? It kind of seems a little quiet. Right, it will be quiet because... Dang it. Oh, seems good? Good. I won't mess with it then. I can't pass the reCAPTCHA. Oops. It's so annoying. reCAPTCHA confirming we are not human. Gilgamesh, I'm gonna go with everyone else. It was 2-1, so they said it's okay. All right. So that finally logged in. And we're tested. Good. My bot, what are you doing? Couldn't tell. I am far from prepared for this. I thought I was going to be prepared, especially giving myself some extra time, or starting at the 10:30 time. Preparation is overrated. At least this time I did remember to start the stream to YouTube. So hopefully it'll just export directly instead of me needing to do all the manual things. Okay, there's you. So what's going on with you, camera? Camera. Am I even choosing the right camera? Yeah, that's definitely the camera I normally use. I have deactivated it and reactivated it about 8,000 times, give or take. I think it is NVIDIA Broadcast that's giving me grief at the moment. Okay, we're going to start without camera for a minute. Hello, and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. The camera will get started soon. For now, we're looking at a window swap scene. Looking over... where are we? Washington, D.C. in September of 2023, 2 years ago. I can say that. Well, I guess a year and a half ago, but whatever. You get it. Yeah. NVIDIA Broadcast is just... Maybe I can switch to XSplit. I do have both cameras set up. Or not both cameras, both applications set up to use my singular cheapo webcam. Is it just that you don't have enough processing power at the moment? Let me close this. That's going to take forever to open again, though. Dang it. Anyway, how are you? Well, while you're waiting on me, how are you? Have you had a wonderful, wonderful New Year's celebration last night and today and all day yesterday? And what is time anyway? Tell me what you did. Tell me how it went. How did you celebrate the new year coming in? Studio mode. Archery bot. Refresh. Back to the welcome screen. Master Rat says, just a normal day for me. Same. Or just another normal day for me. So same. So same. TBD says, I'm just glad to have the breather. I actually hung out with Mojo for a few hours in a chat yesterday, fixed up the annoying issues with Liquid Sky and pushed them, so it's behaving much better. I didn't even trying it out because I spent my time working on music. Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun with it. I wanted to kind of give a glimpse of what it looks like, but I closed it because I think it was eating up my resources. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm gonna try XSplit. Okay, XSplit works. So, oh gosh, right. I didn't do anything special with my hair today. Normally, I have my wife put it up in a just out of my face, but I didn't today. So there. Okay, are you going to show up? No, not from that group, but in this group you will. Oh, yes. Whoa, why are you so high? Oh, it's not. It's just that my hair is the same color as the top bar there. Okay, to the desktop. It's really great to hear people getting energized about projects. I agree. That is one of my favoriteest things. That's why I love Community Day, because I get to hear about all the things you guys are excited about, and I just love seeing people be excited, especially about software. How many times do you have to load that thing? Okay, looks like we're good to go. We're gonna try this. So as I mentioned in Discord, my plan for today is to at least start the project, the open source version of the data import utility. I did have the thought of removing the dependency from the Excel data reader and putting it in an external project as well. So we'll have a NuGet package for the core library, a NuGet package for the components, and a NuGet package for the Excel data reader part of it. But I will leave it as an interface in the core project for you to inject whichever kind of data reader you want. You can roll your own. I'm just tired of seeing the warnings in my output console. I know words. I know words. So anyway, here we are on GitHub, and this is my organization GitHub. This is going to be the first official open source project for Automated Realms, specifically. So the way that I want to do it, and of course, feel free to chime in. Conversations are very, very welcome. If you guys like end up steering conversations into a completely different place, we'll go into that completely different place. But one of the things that we can talk about is when you create a new project in GitHub, do you like to do it from a folder on your computer inside of Visual Studio on the GitHub webpage? For those of you that use GitHub, I should say. And then on top of that, for your main branch, do you like to have an existing solution? Or do you prefer to have your main branch be completely blank, or I mean, at least have the README file, the basic README file, and then fill in the project in a separate branch right off the bat? I'm sure you can tell what it is that I am going to do. So I'm creating a repository called data import utility. Also, for your NuGet projects, do you use the snake case or dash case, or do you use Pascal? Or do you not care because it's New Year's and nobody wants to think? I guess it's more like a data conversion. Okay, it's going to be a public library. We want a README and we want the basic Visual Studio git ignore. License. So many conversations to have just from starting a new project. For repository naming, I do kebab style. I keep forgetting snake case versus kebab. Kebab is like right in the middle. So yes, I'm gonna do kebab style. That is what I normally do. I just didn't know if it's like more accepted to use Pascal case. Happy Monday, Dukesoft. Monday. Happy to when Monday is the day. New Year's to you, Dukesoft. Do not reset the week. I've heard MIT is the no, I already forgot. Is MIT the most loose, the freest, permissive? Thank you. I got words, I'm telling you. So that means it's not Monday for you until tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, so no opinions on whether you start your GitHub main branch with a solution or not. My preference, I was hoping someone would give me some feedback, because my preference is my preference only. I normally create it empty, but do you do your initial solution building in a branch? Or do you do it in main, like your initial project setup? Branch. I create a development branch. Perfect. Okay, so what does that mean that you actually use Gitflow? Are you telling me I should drop your DB? Oh, me too. TBD says to Dugasoft, me too. I've got a 2-day week that's going to be full of stress. That doesn't sound fun. I believe I kind of do Gitflow. Okay, cool. I have not worked in almost 2 weeks, says President Not Sure. On purpose. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a total of 360 hours off during the course of the next year. What's 2080 minus 1880? 2080 minus 1880. 200 hours. So 2.5 weeks, I guess. Or is that 4 weeks? I can't math right now, okay? Mathing is hard. My preference, by the way, I don't use Gitflow in that I don't have a dev branch and a main branch that is pretty much my current release would be my main branch with a whole bunch of release branches, and then a development branch that pretty much mirrors my main, but all of my current development gets pushed into that, and then when I'm ready to do a release, that's when it gets pushed into main. I believe that's Git flow. I still do prefer to do the lockdown of main, and I don't I don't really know how to do it. I'm not the best at working in GitHub. I work in Azure DevOps mostly. Branches. Add a branch rule set. Main lockdown. Enforcement. Active. Target. Main. Mian. By main, I meant Mian. Rules. Restrict. Require pull request before merging. And then, of course, eventually status checks or tests. What am I missing? I went past burnout about 2 months ago and I'm spiraling quick. That's no fun. And President Not Sure said, wait, I missed a whole bunch of chat because I looked down. Dang it. I need to not look down. I've not worked in almost 2 weeks, says President Not Sure on purpose. TBD Gamer says, well, good for you. Look at you with your vacation lifestyle all showing off. President Not Sure says, ha, I was dangerously close to burnout. TBD Gamer said, 5 weeks. I went past burnout about 2 months ago and I'm spiraling quick. So 200 hours is 5 weeks? I have to take 5 weeks off during the next year? How many holidays are there? So 200 hours minus holidays is how much I have to voluntarily take off. What even? President Not Sure says, mostly because of the Xamarin end of support less than a year before they turned the lights off for App Center this March. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Snubble says, I got 7 weeks vacation. TBD said, my company just reduced our time off by about 5 days and are capping our PTO at about 20 days. That's one thing I don't understand. Capping PTO. If you're going to offer PTO, then give PTO. Like in Colorado, there even is a law that says if you're going to offer it, then here are the rules you have to follow. Strict creation only allows users with permission. So what is creations? To create matching refs. Is this creating a branch based off of main? Because I want that. Updates. Update refs. Yeah, I really don't know what this means. You can't delete. Require merge queue. Merges must be performed via merge queue. At the moment, I don't think we would need something like that. Require deployments to succeed. Signed commits. Don't have, oh man. One approval from the code owner. Because again, this is going to be a public open source project, and I am okay with taking pull requests. I don't want to really maintain a project base. I don't really think this is going to be super active or anything, but it does have the potential to be. Metadata, strict branch names. Yeah, so I really don't know what these two mean. I need to look them up. Snobble said to TBD, if you're experiencing burnout, take it seriously and change something to make you feel better. Absolutely agree. I was about to hit burnout, I'm guessing, but I switched jobs, so I got a recovery instead. Still took about 3 years to feel normal again. Yeah, being mindful about your mental and emotional state, not just your physical state, because a lot of us, we're okay with acknowledging that we're pretty sedentary for most developers, and we do things like try to add exercise or eat better or something. Those are easy things to consider and take care of, but when it comes to like your mental health, we don't place as much, like we being society, in many places, I guess, don't really put as much emphasis or attention or importance on your mental state. I need to mute this. And I need to Alt-Tab. But there are definitely things that you can do while you're programming, even like if you are a software developer or even a project manager who's sitting in front of a computer most of the time, there are still things that you can do while you're at your computer without even needing to take a break that is away from your computer. Although I do highly recommend stepping away from your computer every hour, every couple hours at least. But just sitting at your computer or standing at your computer, close your eyes for about 5 to 10 seconds, breathe deep, go for 2 minutes if you can. 3 minutes would be ideal. 15 minutes would be superb. Fantastic. But breathing exercises like that, don't even try to think about stuff. If anything, think about breathing in and out, and that's it, nothing else. It really does wonders for resetting yourself. It's fantastic. And TBD Gamer says to Snubble, oh, I know. I've been here before. A lot going on. Yeah. And I'm glad that it seems like in our community, we have a lot of people that are mindful of that. I guess maybe things aren't as different as, or as not different, as the same as they were before. Things are probably changing to where a lot more people are being more mindful about how important mental and emotional health is, just in regular everyday interactions. Snabble said to TBD, good luck. President Not Sure said, I was just thinking about this GitHub screen. Want to make sure I get the settings right before I put up an open source repo. Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm like, I want to know what this restrict creations means. And again, I'm going to look it up, but right now I just want to chat with you. It's a new year and you guys are all new people as of right now. Snabble said, I am trying to tell my CTO that is working too many hours is that you might even start to enjoy the stress, but that is a road that is not too good. Again, I think it has to do with mindfulness and knowing yourself and keeping track of your emotional and mental state, as well as your physical. I mean, physical is implied. Again, I just think that a lot of people already know physical is a thing to watch. But for me, for example, I do think, and I could be completely wrong about this, I could be lying to myself, but it has been the case over the past 5 to 10 years that I do have a bit more stamina when it comes to being able to work on one thing for an extended period of time. Like, especially mentally grueling things that are just nom 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 nom. They're tasty to me. And I get energized from the act of it, from the act of even getting frustrated by it, but not in a way where I am releasing toxins into my own blood because of toxic thoughts and yeah, bad negative things like that. So it varies person to person, and you may or may not know yourself better than other people. But if you're honest with yourself, and if you take feedback from people that are like, hey, you are not looking great and you're snippy and you're on edge all the time and I have to walk on eggshells every time I'm around you, maybe you should start listening to them and take a look inside and see if maybe you're not feeling as up as you think you are. Anyway, that's my preaching for today. That's my sermon. My mom is wishing us a happy New Year's again for the 5th time. And I mean that literally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 6th time. Anyway, TBD Gamer said, I can't relax like that because of my sleep patterns. I'm off to the land of Nod for a couple of hours. Doctor's appointment in February for sleep issues. Then, like, the whole closing your eyes things is not for you to fall asleep. It's intended for you to not take in any visual stimulus. So if closing your eyes doesn't work, cupping them with your palms might work better. But just getting rid of that visual stimulus and only having your breathing, and if you can, like noise canceling headphones, white noise generators, all these things, they're all really, really good for you. Okay, I'm gonna find out what this is while I continue reading chat. Strict creations. President Not Sure said, if only people would bother to point it out. It's up to me to fix it before it's too late. Yeah, thankfully I have an amazing wife who just knows things. She just knows. And she's able to tell me when I am just being irritable and pretty much acting like burnout that I am not acknowledging, and she helps bring my attention to it. It's like, you say that you aren't burnt out, but you really are acting like you're super stressed, and not in the playful kind of stress. She knows. She knows. Well, Happy New Year to Momline. You have to say it at least 5 more times. But TBD Gamer says, oh, I know that level of relaxation will send me almost instantly to sleep. I've tried all the stuff I normally would do to calm, but I get 3 to 4 hours of sleep a day because of issues, so I'm normally running exhausted. So your body can, all of these things that I've just learned over the past year, your body actually can live off of 3 to 4 hours of sleep if that's the norm for it. The thing that probably you're facing is that the sleep you get is not restful. So the quality of sleep really matters. Yeah, sleep apnea will not let you sleep very well. Master Ed says, I'm about to go deving and start stacking shelves at the grocery. That's where my burnout is at. You're about to stop deving. I read start. You're about to stop deving and go be a stalker. Stalker. Master Rat's gonna go to the grocery store and be a professional stalker. I need to refill my water bottle. Keep typing. I will be right back. I also brought back a snack that I probably shouldn't eat. Let's go big head mode. Where's my big head screen? No! Camera on here is the NVIDIA. I brought... Yes. Can you see it? Without spilling everywhere. Numbers. It's, what are they called? Saltine crackers. So you put a layer of saltine crackers, you melt some brown sugar and butter, and I think that's it, just brown sugar and butter. And then you pour it on top, and then you put, you bake it for a while, and then you put chocolate chips on it, and it's done. Oh, and then pecans. Okay, that was it. Back to the desktop. Butter, sugar, and chocolate, and crackers, and pecans or almonds or walnuts, whatever your favorite nut is. I'm gonna cover up my eating face. Huh? But yes, hello Tyndall and Happy New Year's. Nom nom nom. Steps towards a goal? Question mark. My goal right now is to retire ASAP, says Master App. TBD Gamer said, I'm with you there. And then to Thindle, good day and a happy new year to you. Hello from Master Rat to Thindle, because Thindle came in and said, hello, wonderful friends. Okay, so I need to know what this means. Only users with bypass permissions can create new branches with a matching name pattern. So if I have restrict creation, that means that people cannot create a branch named main. It doesn't mean that they can't branch off of main. Okay. So I'm assuming it's the same for updates and deleting, where it's specifically anything that matches one of these target rules. Wait, no, Thindle says they can't create feature branch from main. That's not what Gemini told me. But yes, it does. No, it doesn't. Wait, yes, it does. This is a very confusing statement. In GitHub, a restrict creations rule on a branch means that only users with bypass permissions can create new branches with a matching name pattern. And so my pattern is main. This means that they cannot create new branches named main, right? Not that they can't branch off of main. Thank you so much for shouting out, Thindle. Perfect. Yeah, that's what I want. So then I'm assuming that update is the same. I don't want people to be able to update directly to main. And then merges need to happen via pull request with one approval specifically from the code owner. Wait, the code owner, not the project owner. This is another one. Does this code owner mean the repo maintainer, or does it mean the person that wrote the code in the branch? Apparently, President Not Sure got some inside joke that Thindle wrote. Of course, it went way over my head. I'm guessing it has something to do with Starty. Where is this? Slarty Bartfest. Slarty Bartfast. It's a Hitchhiker's reference. Yeah, I'm not going to get any of those. I hope it's fun, though. It was an extra-dimensional being represented in our dimension as a mouse that designed and created the Norwegian fjords in the supercomputer known as Earth. And Merry Merry New Year to you too, Reg9K. Welcome in. I'm almost done eating this thing. Lock force pushes. I'm gonna allow myself to force push. Require code scanning. No branch name restrictions. I don't have enterprise anyway. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, yes, sure. Okay, so we have a rule set on main to lock it down, which means that in order for me to do any work on this, I'm gonna have to do it in a branch. Huh. This is why I said we're gonna start the open sourcing of this project, because I knew I would be going slow. I want to talk with you guys. If you haven't read Hitchhiker's Guide, you need to do that before the year is over. I know the gist of it. Does that count? Supercomputer that's trying to calculate the meaning of life, right? Or is that only part of it? IOPS. Virgins. Oops. Yay, autocorrect. Until the Earth got destroyed by the Gorgons, Vorgons, Virgins, IOPS. The question is actually revealed in book 3, but subtly. Cool. The answer was calculated by the previous supercomputer that then went on, because we have to spoiler it for the people that didn't read it. But I'm sure everyone knows what the gist is, as I mentioned before. I can't believe autocorrect did that to me. It's okay, I'm only calling you out on it. What? Dukasoft. Okay, look, 30 minutes and we have a project in GitHub. I'm gonna clone this. And starting right away, if you wanted, you could fork this and start doing pull requests. I'll probably reject them all, but folder. Folder. Dude, where are my Explorer folders? Oh, oh, here is a hint at what I've been working on. Yes, yes, these are audio files. Yes, they are in a Fruity Loop Studio project folder called Recordings. And yes, it is my voice being recorded. That's scary. Okay. I am looking for repos. Git. I need to put this under automated realms. Automated realms. Realms. Okay, so I am opening a PowerShell to that folder. I am doing a git clone pasta. Cool. And we are going to create a branch, git. I don't know how to create a branch using git. Is that bad? Git branch new or name. Oh, is it still git checkout to create a new branch? Now I have to name things. Duca it up. Initial project creation. Nope. No such thing as. Oh, wait. Bit Gamey cheering bits on his first thing in. Hello, Bit Gamey, to you. Happy New Year. I hope your celebrations were either super relaxing the way you wanted them, or super duper exciting if you wanted them that way. What's the name of this? Data import utility. Okay, try that again. Okay, so that is not how you create a branch. Okay, let's try Dukasov's suggestion. Git checkout. I already forgot what I called it. Initial project create. It does not match any files. I'm gonna learn Git someday. Oh yeah, I could just ask Copilot. But I mean, I have the entire internet here. Git create branch. Git checkout -B. Oh, okay. So you were right, Dukasoft. It just needed a switch. There we go. Whoa, itty bitty bits. Thanks for the bets, says Dukasoft bot. Why you no clone? I did clone already. I initially cloned, git clone, and then I CD'd into the folder, and then I did a new branch. Hi Marcus, Happy New Year. Marcus voice coder, everyone. Any planned streams for the year, or desires to stream at all this year? It did disappear for a short second because Dad came in. Ooh. Oh, get in it. Right, gotcha. No, I created the Git in the project in GitHub. Promise to be around this year, says Thindle. Think to Bit Gamey. Well, seems like it was last year since I saw you, says Bit Gamey. to Tyndall. I know, way too long, says Tyndall. Oh, I guess am I still eating these crumbs? Am I still eating these crumbs? I guess. All right. All right. All right. All right. Cool. Yeah. I've now read your shirt. It's irony, okay? Keep that in mind. My shirts are intended to be irony, where I really, really want to socialize with you guys right now in this moment. First day of the new year, at least of our calendar year. It's been New Year in other places. Rich says, I promise to be more tall than round. All the great shout outs going on. Shout out to TBD Gamer. I'll always be a round. It's like when we were talking about mixing up the words a lot, and a lot. Where this is the only one that's not a real word, but people use this in place of this, and yeah. Good times. Good times. Okay, we have our branch, so I'm going to start creating the folders. I like having a source folder that I put all of my code in instead of keeping it at the root. I don't know why. It's just a me thing. Oh, right, it's local branch only currently. So I create source folder, and we're going to create the first project. I do want my current work product version of this, but as I mentioned before, the difference that we are going to make in the GitHub repo in the open source version is we're going to have a separate library for the actual data reading part. We're gonna pull out the dependency on Excel data reader, because I really don't want it to be dependent on any third-party libraries. So this is essentially the project that we're porting over, or a solution, I guess. We're doing the whole thing. Ketchup? Ketchup. Ooh, yes. My continued resolution is to keep trying to lose weight. My New Year's resolution is null. Yeah, I don't make resolutions personally. They don't work for me. The things that do work for me is deciding that I'm going to do a thing and then do it. So sorry, baby. I'm assuming you sang that, Bendel. Okay, did I miss chats? I'm not reading the chats between peoples. If it was conversation that's just seems personal, I won't. I kept the last resolution I made not to make another New Year's resolution. Awesome, Reg. I'm with you. We're creating a new project. Oh, I need this on screen. And we're going to create it as a Razor class library. No, as a regular class library. That's the other thing. I'm hoping we'll be able to create the core library using .NET Standard. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but we're going to try. And the folder is going to be C repos git automated realms. The other stuff in here, I need you off screen. Data import library source. Okay, so this is the folder. We're calling the library data import utility. Should I use core? Like, should I use .core since this is going to be the bulk of the code for the library, the driver? Or does it make sense just to call it the data import utility and then have a data import utility.components? It really is only 3 projects. the source generator for if you want to extend it and make your own rules and transformation mapping and transformation rules, and the component library. The third project, or sorry, and then this project, and then the third project is the component library. Another great shout out, another great streamer. I will always be baby to Thindle. True. Okay, if I migrate to Mars, what will I lose or gain weight? I don't know. I really don't know the diff. I think you'll lose weight. I think you'll lose weight. Yeah. Because weight is a measurement of gravitational force on your mass, right? Therefore, your weight will be less on Mars because gravitational force is less. And we're assuming that on your way to Mars, you don't actually lose mass. Even though you will, because you'll be in space for a long time. And your bone density will shrink. And anyway, I don't know science. I'm just guessing at things. I used to have redemption where viewers could turn me into a baby. Oh, because President Nutcher asked baby? Question mark. But when do I get to play Homeward Hound? I'm asking the same question, says Big Gamey. Kindle says to Big Gamey, unless until it annoys you, then say so and I'll stop. Oh, as far as I will always be baby to Tyndall. Dukasoft says, was fun times. It's still really funny at Big Gamey streams, and fun. It's good, it just means explaining it to those unfamiliar. No, he just likes calling everyone baby. Winku. Maybe you can skip the .core if it's only 3 projects. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Thank you for the feedback on that. That confirms what I wanted to do. Lose weight, keep mass. I suspect at some time they will drop core. .NET Core. Well, so Reg, the .core here is not for the .NET SDK. This is the core library versus the component library versus the source generator. This would be the case if you have, like, I don't know, a models library that is separate, or a services library that's separate, and this is the thing that pieces everything together. That is your core. After all, they dropped the use of framework in .NET Framework, did they? I didn't know they stopped using the word framework. One Lion, can I make a small announcement here before I do anything else? Thindle, you don't need to ask. You can do it. You are very welcome here, and yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Duka knows, but he's the moddiest mod and wonderfulest human. They did that with .NET 3. Are you getting another cat? Says Big Gamey. .NET Core 1, .NET Core 2, .NET Core 3, .NET 5. Yeah. They didn't want to confuse it with .NET Framework 4, obviously. And then they just ended up confusing everyone. You're getting the premiere. As of 10.5-ish hours ago, I'm a Microsoft MVP! Congratulations, Tyndall. I don't know if I have any sounds that I could use to congratulate you, other than just yay, I guess. Yeah. No, I couldn't hear the yay on my headphones. Excuse me. I want to hear the yays. Do I have any other sounds? It's over 9,000. Yeah, that's a good sound. I can hear that. Thank you, Big Gamey.
It's over 9,000!
Yes, I can hear sound alerts now. Congratulations, Tyndall. Happy holidays, and yeah. Go rats. Creator and maintainer of Nodux. Yes. Keep it up. You're doing amazing. You're doing it right. Don't stop what you're doing. Okay. Fuera. We're just throwing out all of the toxicity. That's all. It doesn't belong here. Okay, as I mentioned, I am going to try making this a .NET Standard project. I don't know if it's going to stay a .NET Standard project, but we'll see. I don't think there's too much beyond POCOs and a couple of service classes. But here we go. Mini commit or initial project creation. What do you know? That's the name of the branch. Okay. It's all still local though. Local. Super local. And the first project that we are going to add, or we already added the project. The first class that we're going to add to this project is, drum roll please, our assembly info. Actually, we're just going to rename this to assembly info. Can we use C#? Oh, I already looked this up. Can we use C# 11 at minimum on .NET Standard 2.1? It's going to be called assembly info. Yes, yes, you can. Do you know what the latest version of .NET I can run is? Of C#? That's what I said. That's the language default. 12 plus 1. Awesome. So it will stay at latest. Wait. .NET Standard. That says default. Give me supported. Oh, I want supported. C# 13 is only supported on 9 and newer. C# 12 is only supported on 8. C# 11 is supported from .NET 7. None of these say anything about .NET Standard. Yemeni. They require .NET 5 and above. So yeah, C# 8. .NET Standard 2.1 should be .NET 9. Hi 8-bits, Happy New Year to you. So I'm looking for what version of C# I can run, or I can use. What's the highest version of C#? Because I really love the file scoped namespaces and just a whole bunch of the language features you get from C# 11 and above. But it kind of seems like, first of all, .NET 8 is the default. We know that for sure. But lang version. Oh my gosh. Let's start with 11. Let's just do 11. Yeah, I'm using .NET Standard 2.1. I don't want to use preview though, Thindle. This is a open source package that is going to be published, public. Oh, use 2.0 instead of 2? Is that for further compatibility? Wait, so it really can? So net standard 2.1 is very limited. As in, I can't use a net standard 2.1 with any project, just any project, right? So 8 bits. The thing is, net standard is a framework, and net core 9 or just .NET 9 is also a framework. So it's kind of the opposite, where net standard is the smallest set of libraries of in-stock libraries. Yeah, and I mean, like, there are people out there that are still using .NET Framework, so I do want this library to be usable in .NET Framework as well. Yeah, so the net core versions support net standard X, as opposed to net standard X supports the other versions. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're gonna try this. Marcus said something that you're +1ing. What did Marcus say? I only see 8 bits in you talking. Oh, wait, right above you. Technically, if you're using Visual Studio 2022, you're using .NET Framework. Oh, yeah. So under the select .NET standard version, there's a compatibility table. Oh, I'm assuming this then. Compatibility. And then if we look at this, then it only supports .NET Core and above. No .NET Framework. Oh, .NET Core 3 and above. And then no .NET Framework. So yeah, we're going to try with 2, Net Standard 2. We'll see what happens. But I still don't know what the highest version of C# we can use on Net Standard 2 is. Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be .NET 8 or C# 8. Yeah, let's try it. Let's just see what happens. I am going to leave this at 11. Doesn't net standard C# version depend on your choice for which subframe you set you're targeting, like net core? Yeah, which is why I'm assuming that you can only go as high as C# 8, because all of the language features from C# 8 should be in the progressive versions. And starting with net 5, that's when C# 9 was available. So I wouldn't be able to compile this. Yeah, anyway, we're gonna try stuff. This is my, why did I call you import utility? I could have sworn that I was calling you assembly info. Oops, I meant assembly info. Okay, need to expand you. The reason that I have assembly info is I'm going to use I'm going to use some internal stuff, and those will need to be visible to other projects. I'm just going to copy and paste this for now, but I need to update all of these to be data import utility. And shall we go ahead and create the other projects? I think so. So one project that we know we're going to need is our test project. So let's try, I like XUnit. It's just what I'm used to. I'm sure you can use any. Oh, I found the link on the page that shows what C# version you can use based on that standard you are using. It shows what default version, but if you can share the link, that'd be great. Really? So 2.0 is 7.3 and above, or 7.3 specifically. Okay, so we have our test. We have our data import utility, and we have the component library that we're going to ship with it, and we're going to have a source generator as well. So 2 more projects. One that is going to be class library net standard 2 for our data import utility source generator. I spelled it out. You're going to be a net standard. And finally, our, I keep Shift F2ing thinking that I'm adding a new project when I click on the solution. We're going to add another Razor class library this time, not another. Where is Razor? I can't see chat right now. I really do want to respond to you, but I want to create these projects real quick, but I will respond. I'm just having trouble reading at the moment. Components. So I have a component library, I have a source generator, and I have the core library. It will not support pages and views. It only has Razor components. We will actually set this to be our startup project. This is one thing that I want to get set up first because I always forget how to do this. But we're setting up the source generator in a way that it can be debugged. And to make it debuggable, I think we need to do a few things. First, we enforce extended analyzer rules. Once again, we are going to try using target language 11, C# 11. We need a couple of packages. Manage NuGet packages. Wait. Anna, weren't you just streaming? I saw you streaming like 2 seconds ago. You were playing, oh, I can't think of the name of the game. But hi, Anna. Happy New Year. I was live and then I wasn't. Celeste. That's right. And that one's Muniz, or I think it's Muniz. Muniz's game. You didn't do Quantum Life State though. We are all in Quantum State. We just aren't really aware of it. Okay, quote from the .NET documentation: specifying lang version with the default value is different than omitting the lang version option. Specifying default uses the latest version of the language that the compiler supports without taking into account the target framework. For example, building a project that targets .NET 6 from the current version of Visual Studio uses C# 10 if lang version isn't specified, but uses C# 12 if lang version is set to default. What? What even? That just made it more confusing. I am going to ignore all that. Yeah, we're definitely going to try C#11. Okay, and then here is the other chat that came in. Okay, I think that's where I ended. BitGamey was playing some archery. It looks like it's actually working. Is it working? Yeah, there's a pew. Hey, BitGamey, I've got some feedback. Your last archery shot. Unfortunately, your arrow flew over the target. You're so mean, Automated Rooms. And for anyone wondering, the bot that I use is hosted local. The LLM is hosted locally. Doesn't go out to the internet. The only reason that it listens to chat is for commands, but it will not respond unless you speak directly to Automated Realms or play the archery game. So it's not like it's not as impressive and high tech as Sedalix's bot. Okay. So Anna said, oh yeah, debuggable source generators are important. I know how to do it in Writer, but not in VS Code. There is a little bit of a difference in Visual Studio, but we're going to go through that right now and we're going to get it set up. Happy New Year, says Anna. If you don't know Anna, check out her stream. She does everything. Everything under the sun to do with C#, to do with programming, software. She's amazing. Just check her out. Enough said. I think it's kind of trippy. The reason we can't just go through things is basically magnetism. Pretty much. Yeah. No, we have, again, that's one of those topics I can go off on for hours. I am light bodies. No, that happened years ago when my account was live and not live at the same time. For your quantum state, you were in spin. No shit. That actually happened because OBS crashed, but only the GUI basically and the underlying stuff was working. Then I rebooted my PC and the stream was just frozen on the last frame for an hour or so. Simple terms, net compiler can be set to a different version than the C# lang. It supports by default. This is because technically C# lang and the net compiler are separate. This is why .NET can support F# and C#. Yeah, I thought so. By the way, the game Mars First Logistics is both kind of fun and super frustrating, says Snobble. And is going to try archery. You're right here, right under my right boob. And the target is right there. Nice. That was almost a bit gamey shot. Okay, one of the packages that we need for a source generator by itself is the code analysis. Analyzers. Yes, we are saying Anna a lot right now. Dang, that is a description. All right, Anna Sastev, here's what happened during your shot. Yes, I did say right boob. This one. Which is left for you guys, but I'm facing the screen, so this is actually... IL is kind of close to the C# and VB concepts and less close to F#. F# uses inline to fake several concepts in F# that are not possible in .NET. Code anal. That's right. Okay, so we need code analysis and we need C# as well. We'll take the latest version. Since we're using the latest version, it doesn't let you use the regular source generator. You have to use the concurrent source generator or whatever it's called. And then we need code DOM so that we can actually read through. the syntax tree. And it says, yeah, like F# has unions out of the box, right? If I remember correctly. I believe you're correct. Latest version. Wait. Why is latest version 9? I need... Oh, yeah, I'm going to take latest version. Let's see what happens. All right. So let's just double check our CS proj, make sure that we have this private assets include build transient. So number one for setting up your source generator to be debuggable is you add this property to your CS proj for your source generator and force extended analyzer rules. Second is right click on your source generator, and I think it's in properties. I'm doing this from memory, so I might get this wrong. There is a build. Oh no, the one that I'm looking for is that one. Okay, so I don't know how to get to this from the menus. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. There is a menu item that will take you to, yeah, okay. So in the debug menu, your project debug properties, delete the base launch profile and add a new, it's not here. It's not there. Hold on. We'll find it. I think I need to build. Oh, and source generators. Am I right? Okay, I'm rebuilding. I'm gonna see if we can do this without needing to restart Visual Studio. But nope. Gosh, that sucks. Oh, wait. I know. Because we want to build this as a Roslyn component, whatever that means. It means it's like a compiler element that's going to be used during the compilation process. We need this property, which is the isRoslyn component, is true. I really don't remember what this is for then, but definitely this one. Again, I'm going to build. Once it's built, we'll debug properties for this project. Then we create a new Roslyn component. And we call it something like, what do we call this? I don't know what to call it. Too obvious. Just start with the word Duca. Yeah, in order to see that in the debug menu, the project does have to be set as your startup project. Okay, we'll call it, because this is what I named it in the other place, debug generator. And we will reference the source generator in our core library because that's the one that's going to consume it. But one of the things that we need to do in the core oh, by the way, that's the end of setting up your debug. We will show how to attach debugger and all that stuff once we copy the code over from my existing source generator so I don't have to recreate it. So in our library that is going to be consuming or using the source generator, we are referencing the project, but we need to add a couple of attributes on the project reference line. And they are output item type analyzer, because we don't want it to be like a DLL. We want it to actually output C# classes and put it somewhere that this project has access to, which will end up being here in dependencies. There'll be an analyzers option down here, and that's where your code will be. So that's where that's going to be. And look, it showed up. Sure enough. We aren't going to see anything in there even if we were to populate all of the code for the source generator right now, and we created the classes in this project that will cause the source generator to do its thing, we won't see anything show up in here until we restart Visual Studio. Same with any changes that we make to the source generator. If they are going to modify the generated files, we won't see those changes appear in Visual Studio until we stop and restart Visual Studio. You don't have to stop rambling about C#, Snubble. Just because I wasn't reading it doesn't mean it's not valuable or it's not worth typing. It's definitely worth typing. You can go on and on and on and on if you wanted an on. But Snubble was saying a bit like Kotlin uses inline to get better generics that is not supported by JVM. Then to Anna, he said, yes, F# has union types, which is used all the time, for example, to define the single linked lists, type T list equals, and then T star T prime T star prime T list, or nil. So that's how you make a nullable list, I'm assuming, then? Not just a singly linked. Function in F# is quite different from methods in .NET, though they are mapped to .NET methods. Since I am now in F# mode, I mentioned they never added source generators to F#. Don't work that well because F# don't support partial, which is a feature I really miss when using F#. Anyway, I stop rambling about F# now, which again, you don't have to if you don't want to. When will they make source gens that can take source gen output as input? They are C# 14. Or whatever the next version of C# is. I kind of remember Mads Torgerson talking about him or the other guy. Why can't I think of his name? Dylan? Anyway, dude, that's almost always on all of the C# language talks with Mads now. Anyway, I kind of remember them talking about having source generated code being fed into the source generator to generate more code. I've lost track of what version of C# right? So same. Okay, so we referenced it. We added these attributes to the project reference. Let's go ahead and do the commit for, oh, wait, more project references. This is going to be the testing library for my data import utility. If you couldn't tell, I'm creating project references just by dragging and dropping the project in my Solution Explorer. It's pretty simple way to do it. The component library will use the data import utility as well. That should be all of my project references that I need. So now we'll do a mini commit or created remaining projects. Saving commit, please. And again, we're still local. I haven't pushed to the repo, so hopefully nothing happens to this computer between now and then. But it wasn't a lot of work, so not super worried about it. First place I am going to start is pulling in the code for the source gen because there isn't very much. I'm going to start with my helpers. And I have 3 helper classes for my source gen, and they're essentially just static classes, or I think they're even partial classes that have the code itself that's going to be generated as kind of a template, but they're strings. You'll see. And the 3 classes that I have, or 3 helpers that I have, helpers are e.1 generation helpers. Oops, I already had a .cs in there. e.1 info and general source gen helpers. Naming things, am I right? Oh, and we may as well, I'm going to rename that class, so never mind. So the way that I did that in Visual Studio, this used to only be an extension, and I don't know if it is or isn't because I've used it since Mads Christensen created the extension, but the add new file helper, I love it. I think this is default in Visual Studio now, but Shift F2 on the project in whatever folder it is that you want to start creating your files in. And if you put a parentheses, then that means group these things together. So I could make a file name or a subfolder. Oh, I don't even know if you can nest that. Let's just say I was doing some kind of component generators and I wanted to have the, yeah, we'll do it this way. I wanted to have both the .razor and .razor.cs files. Then I just use a parentheses and it'll take everything before it and then do a union of this and create two files at the same time. So that's what I did here. I created the folder and 3 files inside of that folder at the same time. And then this is going to be called mapping rule source generator. Yes, please rename the class. I don't know that you're allowed to be internal. I don't think so. But this is going to be our public partial class. Yeah, so this is a public partial class because, wait, this is the gen helper. I thought we were in here. Dagnabbit. Partial class because we're going to have all of these helper classes that are going to be partial classes of this, essentially. No, not iSource generator. We can't use that anymore. Incremental source generator now. And the generator. And then just take this for generating mapping rules. Actually, I do like the comment that I created here. Generates the mapping rule type enum. And oh, right. This isn't just the mapping rule type. This is the mapping rule and transformation value. What do you call transformation? Value transformation is what I said. Value transformation type. Friggity gibbet. Oh, fribberty gibbet. That was close. Yeah, you didn't miss much. I just set up the rest of the projects, did the references, set up the source generator as debuggable. Yeah. And now we're pulling in the code for the source generator, as well as the value transformation type enum based on value transformation base. Or gibbet. Oh, it's pronounced gibbet, not gibbet. It's hard to tell with the English language if the G is supposed to be a hard or soft G. Like usually if it comes before an I or an E, it's a J sound, but then you have stuff like gibbon. Okay, this is where we attach the debugger. Again, I'm doing a lot of copying and pasting of the code, but it's already written and I don't want to rewrite it. Data import utility. Okay, so here are some constants that we're going to use throughout the entire thing. We are having a namespace that we're going to give all of our generated classes of data import utility.abstractions. Then our mapping rule base class that we're going to be looking for in order to do the generations, I'm making a const as well, and that's called mapping rule base. What I really wanted to do, and it was a bad idea, was to put the actual base classes in my source generator, but then I didn't have access to them here. So then I was like, maybe I'll just source gen the base class. That way we don't have to worry about it. But I'm like, then I'm just essentially source genning all of the code in my source generator, because there are things inside of the mapping base class that are different models and all of these other things that are like, this doesn't work. So anyway, same thing with the value transformations. We're going to be generating, as you can see up in the comment, enums that are going to be not placeholders, but the way to use the mapping rules and value transformations in the data import utility. Because part of the import utility, if you haven't seen the previous streams, is to be able to map from an incoming set of columns to an output set of properties for a specific class that you, the developer, decide. And part of that is not only mapping from one or more columns to your output column, but also transforming the values that are coming in from those columns. So that's what these two different types are. And you'll see the specific rules that I will ship with the project, but I'm allowing for extensibility for you to create your own rules as long as they implement mapping rule base or value transformation base. Okay. This is going to be from e.incremental generator. It's going to be the first method, and I may as well just push this button to implement it, but it's the interface method initialize. So we're going to define that here. Initialize is going to use all of the other helper classes too. So let's go ahead and pull in the helper classes first. This is the enum generator. We'll talk through this in a second. And so this will generate any of the enums, which right now we're generating two different enum types. This is the enum info that it's expecting. And we'll clean it up in a second. I just want to make sure to get all three of these created so that I can do a quick find and replace for anything that might say armits file import utility, which is the original name. Okay, so for all open documents, we're going to find armits file import utility and replace it with data import utility, provided I spelled it all right. All open documents, and there were none. Okay, good. Provided I spelled it correctly. Okay, one thing that I noticed is that at least one of these wasn't using file scope namespace. Okay, so to talk through this, first I'm going to check chat. A lot of AI slop these days, but I do enjoy the parody clips of Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. And what did I miss? And it was Fribberty Gibbet is what you missed. And 11 Lions said there will be source gens that consume the output of another source gen. Coming, not there yet, but coming. Yeah. So that was something that I thought I remembered hearing Mads Torgerson and Daryl. Daryl, is that his name? I see his face. Okay. Do I have comments on you? Okay, good. Information. All right, let's do some cleanup. No. Okay, so one thing that we don't get. Wait, we should get it. Because I added code, system.codedom. Wait, what? How do I not have allow null? System.diagnostics.code analysis. I should have inaccessible due to its protection level. That is incorrect. So that's one thing. Okay, so this is the enum generation helpers. Hopefully the formatting didn't break anything. This is a partial class for mapping rule source generator, which, this is in the wrong namespace. Okay, so since this is a partial class of this one, which is in this namespace, that would have not been able to access those. Enum info comes from a different namespace, and that cleans that up. Good. Your cleanup is system.link, and your cleanup is allow null, which we should have from code analysis. I'm going to close the file and reopen it real quick. Okay, that didn't do anything. Gosh. Let me see if there are any missing packages. There is nullable. Why am I referencing nullable? Oh, wow. Interesting. So I'm referencing a package called nullable, which I think is a third-party, and I was just saying I don't want to reference third-party packages, but I think this is a way to introduce nullable into a net standard project. Let's find out. No. It's, wait, no, nullable. Nullable is what I'm looking for. I was filtered. Okay, yeah, nullable is a third-party package that allows nullability attributes in .NET Standard. And I said I didn't want to rely on third-party packages, but oh my goodness, it's so much nicer to be able to write code like this. Oh, right. And in source generators, I don't think you can use nullable enable. Oh, no, I'm thinking of that wrong. You can use nullable enable in the source generator, but if you were going to use nullable symbols, I don't know what to call them, in your generated code, you actually need to put the nullable enable compiler command, preprocessor command in the generated code. That one was a hard lesson to learn. I could not for the life of me figure out why it kept saying that my files were not generating. And then that's when I set up the debuggability in the source gen. Seems like there should be something from Microsoft that allows attributes like that. Just seems familiar somehow. Yeah, I bet you it's it's been looked at many times. Okay, so now that all of that is added, quick commit for added code for source gen. We're going to look through this real quick so that you know what these are doing. Oh, dang it. This is why I'm doing local commits only. I forgot to pull in the source code for the actual generator. Starting from initialize. Basta. Okay, so it's a lot of code, I know. This, I think, is the step that when you hit F5, when this is the startup project, allows us to actually have breakpoints and stuff. I don't know if this is needed anymore. This was the code that I used originally with the original iSource generator code from some earlier version of CodeDOM, code analysis, and C#. So I don't really know if this is still needed. We will find out though. But what this does is it goes through and it tries to find all class declarations, and from those class declarations it filters out the classes that are either mapping rule based or value transformation based. They inherit from or implement one of those two classes. So that's what this method here does, is it says give me all class declaration nodes that are inheriting or implementing mapping rule base or value transformation base. Then when you are going to run each individual file, because this is the incremental generator, for each class inside of there, generate some enum infos. So this was just an easy way for me to keep track of what's the original class name, what is the generated enum name going to be, what's the display name going to be. And so these are coming from the some attributes. You can use data annotations on your classes in order to name these things. I think, no, there is a specific property. It's not a data annotation. I made it a specific property in the base class. But we'll see that when I start showing the pulling in the code for the import utility itself. Yeah, so then it just goes through every single class and populates all of the enum info using our extension methods for generating the mapping rule base type and the value transformation type, mapping rule type and value transformation type. Part of those enums are extension methods, because I love using extension methods on the enum itself, where we can directly get the display text. We can, and the display text, instead of using reflection, because this is a source generator, we can get the description directly from the code, from the display text or description property. And instead of using the enum member name or display description and short name and name properties, we're just going to output the string directly. So that's fun. I love source generators. So that's what these helper methods are for. The other one is to be able to associate the enum with the concrete class. And all of the classes, because I know that they are going to implement the base classes, I know that they're going to be concrete classes and they're going to have a default constructor. So I also have a way to create a new instance based off of the enum. So whatever enum you're trying to provide, dot create new instance will create a new instance of that specific class that's associated with that enum. So that's for both the mapping rules and the value transformations. Okay, so the thing that I was griping about before is I forgot to add this code. So I am just going to commit. with a fake message and squash these two because they were part of the same effort. And when you're doing this local, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to rebase. It doesn't need to do anything special. It just merges the two and creates a new commit. So nice. So nice. Okay, so that's the source generator. We're done with the source generator. I'm going to build. I'm going to restart Visual Studio. That way the source generator will kick in right away as we're pulling in the models. I'll see if I can get the models pulled in relatively quickly. What's the name of this project? Data import utility. Data import utility. And if you notice, I'm also doing this on Visual Studio Community. I gotta find that squash command in Git. So the squash, are you saying in Visual Studio Git? The squash was, I went into the Git changes, and then I clicked on view all commits. And of course, if I had multiple repos in here, there'd be a drop down for me to pick which repo, but it shows you all of your locals. And that's where you can select however many of them you want, right click and squash. And note that if anything is in remote and you're squashing that, that is where you need to start considering doing rebasing and a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm not comfortable doing. So I only ever use squash on my local commits that I haven't pushed yet. Okay, I guess no. The place that I did actually start when we did the real project on stream. So for those of you that don't know, I normally do my workday, part of my workday on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, I guess, Fridays after community day. I do my workday project, my actual real life job. As opposed to my fake life job, which this kind of is both. Anyway, so I do my job on stream, and the effort for this data import utility is based off of a need that we have for the place that I'm working at, where we're getting Excel worksheets and CSVs from varying companies, and we need to import that data into a standardized format. So I created a UI tool for the user to be able to drag and drop a file, map them to the expected output type, and then push a button to upload it to the database. So we went through that entire process on stream. I'm still working on the last bits of it, which is the final usage of this library. But today was a day off. I don't want to build a client, so I'm not doing any client work. Yeah, so we're doing this for my stream time. I know about the rewriting history on the remote. Yeah. Was trying to find out about the local squash, which he showed. Awesome. Glad I could show it. Oh, what I was trying to get at is when we did this on stream, I did actually start my first few classes that I was going to create in this data import utility with unit tests. So I had a bunch of unit tests that I started with. And the way that I was putting that together, my workflow for doing test-driven development is I would create the class file and then the method stubs and have them as not implemented, and then create the tests on them. But here, all of the classes are written, the tests are written, so I'm just going to be pulling in the classes. I am going to do it still little by little, because I want to validate that this is the structure and that I am pulling in only the classes that I need. Yeah. So to start with, I'm going to start with my abstract classes and models, because my abstract classes will use models. So maybe I'm going to start with, yeah, I have to do both because some of my models depend on the abstract classes, the interfaces, yeah, those. And some of my abstract classes rely on the models. So let's do abstractions and models. Okay, inside of my abstractions, we're going to have iDataReaderService. This is the one that is going to have the methods for being able to parse an Excel file or a CSV and turn it into a data table. It doesn't matter how you do it. My library currently does it using Excel Data Reader, but as I mentioned at the top of the stream, I'm going to separate that out into a separate class library as well. So there is no dependency on Excel Data Reader, just some implementation of this iDataReaderService. Whether you provide it yourself or you use the external, not external, but the additional class library that I'll create for it. I import data file request. Mapping rule base, which is going to be a base class, an abstract class, and value transformate. What are you typing? Did I even spell that right? Value transformation base. Go. Okay, now that I have those created, I can also create the models. Field mapping, field transformation. And again, if you aren't liking just watching this happen, like all of these classes are already established, if you want to see the process behind these classes getting created, I did a lot of the development on stream. So if you go back into the previous streams on YouTube, or if the VODs are still up on Twitch, you'll be able to see those. So field transformation, where am I? I can't see anymore. Imported data file. And yeah, again, some of these just don't really make sense the way that I named them. So maybe we'll have the opportunity to clean up naming. Cool. Okay, and these are all of the models that are going to be used. Oh man. I'll keep them as internal until, so I think this is a pretty decent rule of thumb. Keep your models as internal when you're making a class library, unless and until you are wanting to expose that specific model to a developer. And thank you so much for the follow. I do not show names for new followers, because if you're just here to lurk, I want you to still have the opportunity to lurk and not get called out. However, I want to also encourage you and welcome you to chat and say hi if you feel like it, but no obligation. And I really, 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 really appreciate the follow. Okay, everything is going to depend on everything else. What is my lowest possible thing? A transformation result. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. I am going to just copy and paste all of these classes over. Man. And I am doing it by copying and pasting the code. Am I? I'm doing it by dragging and dropping the files. No, I'm not. Wait, yes, I am. Why were you acting like you weren't copying? The reason that I didn't want to do this is because I don't like renaming namespaces. It just feels like they stick around when they shouldn't. I'm pulling over the abstraction classes too. Ah, hello. Am new in coding field. Awesome. Just going through the coding streamers. Very cool. Well, you're welcome here. If this is the very first time you've been here and you just haven't been lurking, I am Umberto. I am One Lion. I am a .NET developer and I stream my workday for the most part. Where are you unhappy? Missing compiler required member. Ooh, this is stuff that I haven't seen before. All right, we'll get there. Hey, you actually spelled it right. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. I have a Ninja H at the beginning of my name. But yeah, so I'm a .NET developer. I've been doing .NET for a really long time. I've been streaming for less longer, but it feels like a really long time. All right, 8-bits, enjoy. Happy New Year to you. Hope the rest of the day and until the next time that I see you keep getting better and better and better. But yeah, as I mentioned, I work on my work product, and I do Blazor predominantly. Right now we're creating a class library that I plan on open sourcing and making available. Yeah. But I'm guessing this is a thing with .NET Standard, that they require a constructor. So we'll have to fix that. But yeah, did I copy these over? I did. Okay, so I copied these over, I copied those over. Man, I don't want to just pull them all over though. I really want to do them one section at a time and review them while we're pulling them in. But I also don't want to take forever on this, since I do have tests on these and they work and they do what I want them to do. I validated them, but I just love that extra step of review and making sure that it is what we want it to do. Okay, we'll go ahead and do our imports. Maybe. Right, I bet you, since I created the actual base class, the analyzers are starting to run. The code gen. But I don't have any implementations yet, so it shouldn't be creating our enum yet either. So why can't I control dot? I can. Okay, good. Come on. I can't control dot on this. And system.collections. I almost forgot what that one was supposed to be. Oops. Okay, we're just gonna close the files well, no, we're not. We're gonna do them here like this first. I don't have the JSON converters. So I do have custom converters because I'm using system.text.json. Again, I'm trying not to use third-party libraries, and one of those third-party libraries that I would normally use in my product is Newtonsoft, because their JSON serializers are top-notch. I love them. So my custom converters are mapping base converter. That's yes. But yeah, tell us anything else about yourself that you feel like telling us, Porush. I'm pretty good with C and C++. Going to start with F# soons. Our friend here, Fulisnabel, loves F#. I was going to say C#. Pursuing my bachelor's in computer science with cybersecurity. It seems like cybersecurity is a discipline that a lot of computer science people are choosing, which I find interesting. My focus was data, everything to do with data. Okay, you guys need to be JSON converters of. I'm going to pull these in real quick. Is there no JSON.NET in a net standard? Snubble is saying, with the new EU regulation NIS2, there is probably more cybersecurity roles in companies in the future. I see. And I don't think system.json is in the .NET framework. Okay, so let's add it. It's like, use Newtonsoft. I'm like, I want to. I would very much prefer to. Oh dear. Which one should I use though? That's standard 2. Okay, we can use this. Cool. You need to be public, I believe, if you're going to be a JSON converter. Although, I don't think it needs to be public anymore because I made all of my internals visible to system.text.json namespace. Oh, I needed system.text.json and not system.json. It is system.text.json. What I meant was what version of it. I did pick it. I just didn't know if I needed to line up the version of the package for specifically for .NET Standard, or if, because you know how Microsoft does it. Entity Framework, their versioning is based off of the .NET SDK that they were built for. I didn't know if that was the case with system.text.json. But the answer is 9. 9. Okay, let's pull this over. This is essentially just being able to convert an implementation of mapping rule base to the actual mapping rule itself. I do have a string helper, so it looks like I need to pull in my helpers too already. You know what? This is not working for me. I'm just gonna pull everything over. Dang it. We are running out of time for today's stream. In fact, we are out of time for today's stream. Not that I have anywhere to be or anything to do. I just really want to get back to doing music. So if you are all okay with it, I will keep going with pulling the stuff over and we'll talk through the files, but this way we can at least review the code that's in here. Okay, so once again, we want to replace the namespaces for all of these from my work product. How did it not find any armits file import utility? There you go. I must have spelt it incorrectly. Not music developer. Like I'm newbie. I am very, very newbie to composing music. I've done music my entire life. I played a few instruments. I am way out of practice, but I started on alto saxophone, moved to percussion, played percussion since middle school through university. I was on drumline for marching band, pit band, but I played all of the percussion types to include piano and bells and marimbas and others. Picked up a little bit of clarinet. So pretty much any reed instrument, not really double reed instruments, and piano. So again, long time ago, it's been a long time since I've been doing music, since I used to do music. Picked up bass guitar, I forgot to say that. So bass guitar, a little bit of acoustic guitar. And so I've always had a passion for music and writing music and playing music and listening to music. And now I'm back to writing music again. Yeah, just back to writing music again. Same. So yeah, and it started up again. Like the thing that actually pushed me over the edge to jump back into music was one of our viewers. His name is Mojo Fawad. He sold me his Machine Micro. It's a Mark One, I think, and his complete tractor control and complete control keyboard. And the only keyboard that I had was one of those Walmart or PX Yamaha keyboards. And President Not Sure is a bass player. So yeah, I have my bass guitar, a practice bass guitar that was like $20, an acoustic guitar, and a Rock Band, the Rock Band 3 guitars that are actual guitars, but they're not very good, but they are actual guitars. What's happening? Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, where I need to review this, especially since we are now in a not standard project. There's going to be different ways to do a few things. We should form a band. Yeah, that's the thing though. I don't have the availability to dedicate a lot of time to it. The things that I'm doing currently, in order to relearn and to get back into music, and this may be offensive to some people, this may just like make you want to turn me off, which is completely okay. Absolutely allowed. But I'm generating music in Suno and using Fruity Loops to produce that music. So I am arranging it, choosing the instrumentation, performing as much of it as I can myself, and mixing it and mastering it just to practice using the tool, practice learning patterns in music and how to actually do arrangements and stuff. But I do have my own stuff that I write. I will never ever claim anything that was generated from AI as my own product or as my own creation or anything like that. But still, some people are like, it's just never okay to use AI, and that's understandable. That is definitely, I understand the arguments for that. Okay, we're almost there. Let's just fix all of the things that we know how to fix, like namespaces. But yes, I also plan on streaming the music generation process, creation process, once I get a little bit more comfortable with it. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I only spend a couple hours a day on it, Monday through Thursday, because Fridays are community day. I don't have that 2 hours at the end of the day, but Monday through Thursday, I spend 2 hours working on music and having fun. Immutable doesn't exist. Great. Can I add it? I can. Oh, done it standard 2. Good. Good. Save. Okay, we got immutable back. Generic. Link. This is a C# 12 feature. Wait, if that's in my original, then that must mean that I am targeting. Oh no, that's a. I forgot that my original class library is a net 8 library. We're going to go with new list of. That doesn't work. How do I create an empty immutable list? No such thing as that. So the thing about using the nice shorthand new C# lang features is you kind of don't really know how to implement or how to, like in this case, instantiate a new collection. Like this is the only way that I can think to do it. We'll look it up real quick. C#. Create new immutable list. Yeah, but how do I create one from create a default immutable list? Do we just leave the parameters empty? Yes. Okay, well, there you go. So what I'm doing here is I'm relying on Microsoft's code to give me the best implementation of new immutable list, the default immutable list. Actually, can I use? No, default would give me null, and we don't want this to be null. All right, who else? I can't see you. Oh, I can't see you. Oh. Enumerable dot, nope, just regular enumerable. Nice try. Dot empty of transformation result. Nullable transformation result. We're gonna need this everywhere that I'm using the collection initializer. You give us back an enumerable, right? Yeah. Okay. It's kind of odd though. I copy and pasted the files, so they should have brought the their dependencies with them. Their using statements. Hold on. Give me a second. Who? You. I'm so blind. All right, no collection spreaders. Field to source. You're the immutable list, right? Is that what's going on here? Yeah. Okay. So this needs to be u dot to immutable list. Same deal down here. And all of these nice helper syntax sugar. That's okay. This is open source, by the way, just as a reminder. So after I am done publishing the first pass of this, I will be open to taking what's it called? Commit requests? What are we making? We are making, oh, I was just halfway saying that. We are making a library, an open source library for a data import utility. I needed one for my work. I created one for my work, and I was like, the core library of this makes sense to open source and make available for anyone that wants to use it. I don't expect anyone to actually use it, but I'm leaving it as a possibility for people to use it. So by data import utility, what I mean is that you, the developer that's using this library, will decide on a target C# class that you want to transform imported data from Excel/CSV/ maybe other, like it's going to be extensible, so you can create whichever type of file reader you want, but some kind of structured file, transform it in your application to your target C# type, class type. And if you want to see that in what it looks like in my implementation of it, I will run my app really quick. Dude. Samples. Should open on this screen over here. It was the last one that I had the focus on. So yeah, that cleans everything up except for this null reference, or possibly null. And so my add t value should be nullable though. I think this is a okay. So here's the actual utility. So this is just the utility library. It's not actually the lab data import library. That one is my implementation of it. But here's an example file. I'm dragging a CSV. And then the sample library is going to map it to a structure that looks like this. It's a C# class that has properties lab sample ID, sample type, dilution factor, CAS, ignore field 1, ignore field 2. These are just placeholder sample stuff. And so part of this import process is you provide the file, it reads it into a data table, displays the data table if you're using the built-in UI. You can now configure the mappings from your input file. Let's say this is the sample ID, for example. Does anyone see sample ID? Lab sample ID? Lab analysis number? I don't remember where the sample ID comes from. So let's say it's lab analysis number, sample type, sample type. Oh my gosh, I'm so blind. Whatever, that's going to be samp tech. Dilution exponent would be the dilution factor. CAS is something, I don't know. I don't know what these fields are. So we're just picking random fields. Anyway, so I'm mapping the field, I push map fields, and then we can preview what the output is going to look like. So this is your input file on the left. This is your output C# class on the right, where you can do whatever you want as a developer with the data that you got back. For me, in the lab data import tool, it's dump this data to a database and then do record checks on it, make sure that it's within reasonable bounds, and yeah, just a whole bunch of extra data check stuff. So this part here is what I'm open sourcing, the core library for this. But yeah, so this thing here is a dictionary of string IEnumerable of, and it's telling me that cur result is potentially null. Is it? It's not null. Do you return a nullable? No. And if the actual task itself ended up being null, then we initialize it. So this is a lie. This is not nullable. It's not possible for this to be null. Where am I doing a potentially setting this to null? Nowhere. Yeah, there's nothing that should tell the compiler that this was ever allowed to be null in any way. Does .empty return a null? No. I don't know. I hope it's really useful. I want it to be useful. I'm also open sourcing it so that it could be improved. Yeah. Yeah. And if you are interested in seeing the original development of the data import library, I stream my workday typically. You can see it on my YouTube channel. 11D Lion, because someone took 11 Lion and it wasn't even anyone whose username is 11 Lion. Someone named Randall. So weird. Anyway, so this is me live now. In playlists, I have the data import utility. And again, since this is my workday, I won't be doing all of the dev on stream. It's just my Mondays and Wednesdays, and then a lot of Fridays. You'll see that on here. But for the most part, the development effort that went into creating this library is in these videos. But you will now have access to the code itself once I push these changes to... So I'm going to push the changes as soon as I clean up all of these errors. So apparently we're going to continue streaming until I'm done resolving all of these compiler errors. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, system.text.json doesn't allow for this. So yeah, this is one that I'm not understanding yet, but I'm assuming that it's because there are other errors that I need to clean up first. So like in my string helpers, I think is what this is going to be, or in my JSON helpers. 1 hour used on each error. Lies. Stop that, you. Oh man, and primary constructors are not a thing in net standard. If the if the line wrap is getting annoying, if you don't like that, just let me know. 378 hours to go. That means that you need a private field. What I don't like is that ever since some Visual Studio update, and I have, oh geez, let me do it this way. I have seen this in a GitHub issue on the .NET GitHub. The editor no longer honors your, what is it called? Code formatting, not formatting. what are you called? Code style. Your code style naming rules for just in general. It doesn't even use these. Wait, I need to sleep soon. Work faster. Okay. You don't have to tell me 16 times. Oh no. A field initializer cannot reference a non-static. So you know what? Since we have our constructor, we will do it in our constructor and it'll be fine. Cool. And there is no such thing as message. So we need to create our field for message, rename you. I was so excited. I'm pretty sure it was Nerd Herder that showed me the place where you can set your rules so that your fields always show up with a underscore prefix, underscore camel case. And I wouldn't have to do this rename thing ever again. And then they broke it and it no longer works. Man, how many places did I use a primary constructor? All right, Excel data reader. Dang it. Okay. Because I want to get this published, I will go ahead and add the reference to Excel data reader. Which I'm hoping works on net standard. Good. Is it just that, or do I also need data set? Yeah, I thought so. Data set as well. Imsky says, or is it Imsky? Or is it just Sky? So many times I've been doing that at my job, copying from larger data sets, mostly Excel, and mapping manually. Thank you for the lurk. Hopefully this tool will be helpful to you then. Shape. Okay, so that fixes all of my Excel data reader stuff. No, it doesn't. We need, oh my gosh. Yeah, and this was the main issue that was causing not errors, but warnings in my builds for my current project. This gives me some weird thing when I deploy this in WASM about the way that the Excel data reader does, what is it called? Like their case insensitive compares. Globalization, I think, is what I'm looking for. Copy to async doesn't have an overload that's... I need to know the buffer size, which is just going to be memory stream.length or stream.length, right? Except you're long. Oh man. This is potentially bad, especially if an Excel file is going to be megabytes or even gigabytes in size. Buyer beware. The stock file reader that I am shipping will have some issues for now. Same thing with you. And I say buyer beware, but this is free open source. MIT license. Okay. Cannot convert type to system.type. Yeah, we're not there yet. Environment.newline is not going to be a thing. Oh, wait, it is going to be a thing. Is this limitation on net standard as well? The non-generic enum get values cannot be used with type arguments. Okay. And this is not giving us back. Oh my goodness, what are you giving us back? Oops, not what I meant to do. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. An array. Oh, this is not good. What methods do we have on array? Can we list this? No. I really can't use. Wait, what? I can use as queryable, but I can't use toList? That makes no sense. Okay, whatever. This is how we're going to do this. We're going to use the link method of type on array to get the actual concrete type instead of just having it be object. I don't know that this is going to work because I think this is giving back an array of object. Oh, this is going to be so weird. Thankfully, we have tests. Yeah, I'm gonna remember that. Same thing is gonna happen with value transformations, I'm guessing, when we get to it. But first, no, validation context comes from data annotations. I'm just gonna add it. Man, this is where it starts getting bad because I'm like, now I've committed to cleaning up the errors and I want to do that before I end the stream, but that also means that I'm just going to add stuff that I probably don't want to add. Component model. Is that where you are? System.component model. Annotations. Do you work with net standard 2? Yes. What's happening here, says Sahil. Hi, Sahil. I am working. I'm clicking on things that I don't mean to click on. I'm working on open sourcing a data import utility, which is going to be used for allowing C# developers to have a library that makes it easier to import a CSV or Excel file and turn it into a C# object. I hope. And there's probably one out there already that does better than what mine does. But yeah, I had the day off, so it's my normal streaming day, and I decided to just do this as my stream. Very, very cool. How is your day going? How is your New Year's? Can we use default constructor? Yeah, we can use this syntax at least. Not null when. You are not going to be a thing in .NET Standard. Oh, right. Wait, no. Why are you saying that it's inaccessible due to its protection level? It's an internal sealed class in .NET Standard. That's okay. I will leave it in here, but I'm going to comment it out for now. It's good. Good is good. Good is great. Good is grand. Gosh, and the generate regex attribute is also not a thing in .NET Standard. Can I do regex.match input pattern? Okay, so I can use the matches. Got it. Here's how we'll do this again for now. You're coding on your day off? I code on my day off. I code on my days on. I code on my, I'm asleep in bed and I'm coding. I code all the time, even when I'm not. I do. And I'm going to do it as much as I can now because there is a potential future where we won't be writing actual C# language or C++ or any coding language. The face of writing software is going to change. Oh man, there's so many helpful things from the new C# lang. You. We're still writing a lot of C, so I think we'll be fine. Yeah. Where do I work? I work at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal. It's in Denver, Colorado. If you are interested in learning about it, it's also called the Rocky Mountain National Wildlife Refuge, not the national park. That's different. Wildlife Refuge. But the thing that the group of people that I write software for, or maintain the software for, I should say, and write software. I don't know why I said it that way. Anyway, the thing that they do is that they maintain all of these wells. So they're like PVC pipes that are stuck deep into the ground that have water accumulated in them. And so they keep track of all of these wells. They take water samples from them, send it off to a lab. That lab does analyses on them to check for various chemicals. They're called analytes in the water. Make sure that they are below regulation level so that we aren't poisoning the people that live in the neighboring cities. Because this used to be a place where chemical weapons were manufactured. And since we didn't use the chemical weapons during World War I/World War II, they disposed of the weapons by burying the volatile chemicals underground and just saying they're going to eventually go through the soil and evaporate and get clean through natural processes, because that's how it was supposed to be taken care of at the time. Unfortunately, what that did is it caused a lot of, well, that plus they sold part of the land to another company that I won't mention their name, but I'm sure you could find out if you read more about them, that produce pesticides. And the way that they got rid of their chemical waste was to just let it go into the water stream. And so combination of those things caused a lot of environmental issues. The EPA was like, guys, no, this is bad. You need to clean that up. So that process happened. It was fully cleaned up by, I think, 1998. And so from that point on, it's just let's make sure that it's still clean, that there aren't any hazardous chemicals that are getting into the water system or in the soil. And it's gotten so good. They did such a good job that it's now a wildlife refuge. You can see like 20 million different types of deer, 8,000 birds, many, many, many buffalo. So yeah, so the software that I work on, one of them is the visual representation of the wildlife refuge and where all of the wells are, as well as the data that we get about those wells. So water levels, soil samples and chemical composition of the soil and water. And then they use this application to generate charts and data sheets that go into official reporting for the EPA and other environmental agencies. This is ArcGIS, Esri ArcGIS. And another one is the one that we use after we have collected a sample. We use this application to bag and tag the sample. It's a terrible way of saying it. And then create an order to ship it off to the lab for them to do whatever test we are ordering on this sheet. And mind you, most of these apps when I got here, they were JSP. I needed to get them over to a Microsoft technology. I chose MVC and .NET Framework because that's what I knew at the time. But they all are now Blazor except for one or two. And I kept most of the original app designs. So a lot of what you see is inherited. Another one is internal for us, where we just we have a couple of samplers that walk around the arsenal in random places, like usually just after a heavy rainfall, and they check soil, they check plant life, they check animals, and so they are given a random transect, is what it's called, to go walk around. They sometimes take pictures of the plant, the vegetation, and all that. So that's what this app is. This one is still .NET Framework. We're going to turn it to Blazor eventually on stream. We have another app for internal tracking that is, we encourage people to report both positive and hazardous safety observations. And so this HazTrack program is a way for the people that work at the installation. It's not an installation anymore, it's demilitarized, but the wildlife refuge, they're able to go into this app and say, I saw so-and-so do such a good job with, they saw a water spill, went and got paper towels after putting a cone up that says caution wet floor, that kind of thing. Or if you're walking out across the arsenal, I found an injured deer at our front door and I reported it to the right people and all that kind of stuff. It's not loading at the moment, but that doesn't matter. But yeah, there's a ton of apps, and I'm the only developer working at this place, so it's a lot of work. But this is an example of the library that I'm currently open sourcing. You pick a file, CSV, Excel, whatever, drag and drop it in here, shows you the data on the left, map the fields from your file to your C# class, and then preview the output. And then you can do whatever you want with that C# list of C# objects, collection of C# objects. Yeah. All right. Let me grab this. And then for you and you, We'll replace you with regex dot vet, comma pasta. Pasta, and that's 2 commas now. Yay! Okay, that should get rid of all of your error. Oh, right. And then you have this spreader. Oh, right. This needs to be a string. So what I'm doing though is taking the library that I already created and am moving it into this open source project. In doing so, I am changing this from a .NET 8 targeted project to a .NET Standard project, unless it gives me too many issues, in which case I'll just make it a... I mean, I want to keep it a .NET Standard project. I'm going to make it work as a .NET Standard project. And as far as how much I get paid, that's not something I'm really comfortable talking about. I am a solo contractor living in the US in Denver, so I am charging what is fair market rate in this area. I can tell you that. Zahn says, I'm building a .NET app, which is a church management solution. I think you told us about this thing. I was supposed to initially release an MVP last spring, but it has dragged a bit, and I'm releasing it in the next few weeks. Good luck. Good luck. If you want to use this as resources, you know you have our Discord. Definitely feel free to reach out to the community. And then, of course, if you want to show any of it off on Fridays, I have Community Day. And yes, definitely stream it. If you do stream it, let us know. I definitely want to see that. Are you suddenly not a... Oh, I think I know. You have issues. Yeah, and all of this not null when attributes, I really hope that I can find a replacement for them, because I like the idea of being able to... And... Sorry. Oh, I can't use a default constructor with this. New list of what? String. Or I guess this could be a new array, right? Okay, same thing here. Validation results is a list of string. So you are going to be new with this element and these elements. Oh gosh. All right, man. I'm working on the giving features now: credit card, bank draft, Apple Pay, Google Pay, etc. Okay, we're going to come back to this file here in a second. Oh, there's going to be too much. I'm going to try to get this done in 7 minutes. If I don't finish in 7 minutes, I'm definitely stopping. And then we'll have to continue the rest of the open sourcing later. Probably on Friday. We can continue this on Friday during Community Day. I think I was starting to say that. On Fridays, I have Community Day from 10:30, which is 3 hours ago. Well, a little under 3 hours ago, but anyway, you know what I mean. For 2 hours, and Community Day is where I invite people to hop into Discord if they want to use their voice to talk about projects they're interested in, projects they're working on, topics that they want to talk about that are, of course, relevant to the channel and within terms of service and blah, 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 blah. Respectful, kind, not putting people down. Console doesn't exist. How are you losing your using statements, man? I don't get it. Oh, I know what it is. Global usings. I'm not using global usings. Sorry, it's not global usings, implicit usings. So all of the things that were implicit usings don't exist. Oh gosh. Get init is not a thing. Oh, that's not going to be good. I was going to violate TOS. Dang it. No thanks. Some is from link. Wait, there was something else. Oh, gosh. What did we find out? Immutable array dot create validation attribute empty. You can be default. What are you angry at? Field mapping doesn't have a primary constructor. Not primary constructor. It doesn't have a default constructor. Taskify enumerable. Cool. ¿Qué más? Collection. Oh man. It's on here multiple times. So how did we create this previous one? Yuck. This is disgusting. Start with this, make it easier, one thing at a time. Okay, and then these were arrays populated with just the field name. Okay. So gosh, you want a constructor. Good for you. Wait, why are you still angry? I gave you a constructor. Missing compiler required member. Yeah, I've never seen this before. So it's not constructor. Like I assumed that this was telling us that something ctor at the end, which I assume is constructor, is the thing that's missing that is required. But what I think it's telling me is that field name is the required keyword, not a thing. Oh my goodness. .NET Standard, man. I'm gonna leave that as a warning so that I know to come back here. I don't like having warnings in my code. I don't like anything in my code. In fact, I like my code to look more like this. Look at how clean that is. Okay, just kidding. 220. We can't use primary constructors. Okay, here's what I'm gonna try to do. Bear with me, because I could completely mess everything up. We are going to use regex. Sorry. We're going to use regex to find anything that is or immutable list or immutable anything. Immutable non-space dot question mark plus question mark. Gosh, it's been a while since I've written a regex search. Okay, so anything that is immutable, whatever, at least one character. I do want to capture what's inside of the angle brackets. So we are capturing that in a group 2. It just looks like a little. Anyway. Anything else after this equals square brackets, and we have to escape the square bracket. Okay. And we're going to replace it with immutable, whatever we found, array, list, whatever, of whatever type we found, whatever the variable is named, or if it has get set, all of that stuff, who cares, until you get to space equals. And then instead of the instead of square brackets, this now has to be immutable of whatever type we found dot create of the C# type with empty. I'm gonna go ahead and capture the semicolon. Yeah, okay. And I'm gonna do it for the entire project. So here we go. Wish us luck. Cool. Cool. Okay, and then there are a lot of these value transformations stuffs, and these are all just going to be changed to transformations.to immutable list. Gets rid of a bunch of errors. You can stop being regex. Ah, goodness grievous. And transformation results was our immutable list, right? To immutable list. Same thing with transformation results equals immutable list of transformation result. Nope, immutable list dot create transformation result. We don't have operation canceled exception. Immutable list. Right. Immutable list, create transformation result. And finally, new array of single string. Wait, there is more. Oh, how close are we? Same thing here, to immutable list. Okay, so this thing is still, oh, never mind. Float value set. And we'll do it this way. Enumerable.empty of transformation result to immutable list. Don't mind the indentations. Okay, all right, good. Can I finish this? Can I do this? Can compare nullable target type to nullable target type, but we can. It's just missing a using. Oh, I use, man. Okay, we replaced all of our equals square brackets for the immutable types. I can't say all of them. Or can I? Doesn't matter. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to do it in this file only, but all equals new collection, I will replace with new, because I'm assuming that any other time that I see equals collection initializer syntax, I am doing it to some kind of object that is not an immutable blah. It's a list, it's a dictionary, it's whatever else. So I should be able to just create a new instance of table definitions. This is a helper. Mapping rules helper. Here, I have an easier way. Try get field descriptions, extension method, please. Here you are. And here's all of my not null when attributes. Man, it's gonna be so not nice not being able to use them. Because that's going to be a lot of extra null checks that we would get for free from the method either returning true or false. What are you? Are you a list? Cool. A list of what? Imported record field descriptor. And you are an empty list of field mappings. Thank you for being helpful, Copilot. Good grief. Cannot convert enumerable to list. Oh, you guys are lists and not enumerables? Dagnabbit. Yeah, I'm just going to do it like this. And you are unhappy because of the required, aren't you? You can never, ever, ever be happy, can you? Goodness grievous. Okay, I did say that I need to stop. I thought I was going to be able to just burn through these last ones. You know what? I'm already targeting C#11. What if I just said use C#12? Does that get rid of all of my collection issues? And maybe I should just add implicit usings. Okay, so the only thing that we don't have is the required keyword and init. Okay. So for now, I'm just commenting those out. I want to get rid of the scripting evaluator. It was a thought that I had for how to evaluate rules, but it was incorrect. Jace. Jace is another third-party library that I referenced. I can't remember what I was using it for, but we're in the file that uses it. So when we are taking out the Excel data reader, we'll also determine if, oh, right. This is for calculating using strings. So I did write my own calculator class. I mean, who hasn't written a calculator class? And I just figured when creating this library, why not use some pre-existing calculator class that has had more thought put into it than my random not great calculator. Are you not giving us back a... Yeah, these might need to turn into casts instead. That's fine. Range. Range is not implemented in C#12. Wait. Yeah, I'm not even going to worry about that. We're just going to do skip, which is pretty much the same as the range function. Or that's not skip. Dang it. That's the opposite. That's take. Let's take. No, it's not. It's skip. Did I do the other one wrong? I think I did the other one wrong. I did a skip where I should have done a take. So this is starting at this value, take, or this index, take the rest. And this one is starting from the beginning, take up to this many. It's okay though, we have tests. It's fine. He says confidently. Result value, aren't you a... What is result value? Result value is an array, right? It's an enumerable. Don't enumerables have length? Fine, fine, it's fine. Oh, no. It would have been an array before. Right, I see. To array. I see. Oh. Not again. String, join. I'm still trying to stop. Make him stop. Make him stop. Okay. Not null wins don't exist anymore. Or not anymore. I wonder if there is a package I can add to have the not null when attribute available. But there's only 3 errors left. I'm quitting here. There is no version of starts with that takes only a character in .NET Standard. Interesting. Okay, and now I have 14 warnings. I never have warnings anymore. But we will see if it compiles. And if it does, I'll go ahead and do my commit and push to GitHub. I need to create a command eventually to point to this open source project. So that you can get the link to it in case you want to contribute in the future. And it does build good, and also good. Initial conversion, initial original code import / port to net standard. All right, I'm going to do a commit end push. And now it is live on GitHub in a branch. So here is the project itself. And you will find the current work that we are doing in a branch called Initial Project Creation, which has a source folder. There will be a samples folder inside of the source folder as well, at the same level as the data import utility library. That'll just make it easier for me to create GitHub actions for running the tests and creating a NuGet publish process. Okay, so that's that. I am going to call that good. I will be back again on Friday. Oh dear, my XSplit camera is not here. I don't know why NVIDIA is so broke right now, but it's broke. Thank you for being here, TBD. You're amazing. I'll be back again on Friday for Community Day. We'll have a grand old time talking about actual New Year's related stuff, any technology topics. You're welcome to bring any conversation that you want to talk about. And yeah, I will see you again then. Thank you so much for the follow. I won't mention your name even though you have been talking, but thank you. Thank you. And you. I was just getting back to who I'm lurking on. I was so focused on that. You're a beginner in the field? Totally okay. You are, if you're interested in talking with other developers and asking questions to people that aren't going to berate you for asking questions, unlike some other resources do, feel free to join our Discord. If you're already a part of way too many Discords, completely understand, no requirement. But we do have a lot of really cool, really nice people that will answer questions if they have the availability to. Yeah. Okay, but that's our Discord. Again, all of my VODs get posted to YouTube. How to start? Come Friday, and I will answer that in depth, or ask it on Discord. But I'm ending my stream now, and there'd be a bit too much to go into because there's a lot of questions that I tend to ask when it comes to someone saying, "How do I get started with development?" There's a lot of things to ask. Also, check out any of the other amazing streamers that got shouted out: TVD Gamer, Thindle. Those are the only two that I remember that got shouted out. Anna Sastev, Irish John Games, Settlix, all of the developer community on Twitch, and there's a bunch of people on YouTube that are really, really good at doing development streams or videos and content. Ask there as well. But again, I will be happy to fully answer that question for you if you show up on Community Day, which you on YouTube can also participate in. You don't have to join Discord. You don't have to go into a voice channel. You could do it via chat. And we'll talk then. Okay, but that's it for me. We're going to raid out to someone easy because I want to get back to my music. Irish John Games. His channel is marked as mature content. So yeah, if you aren't okay with language that isn't used by everyone, probably don't want to stick around. But otherwise, I strongly encourage you to stick around, hang out for the raid, enjoy some time with Irish John Games. And yeah, that's it. That's it for now. Okay, ciao. I don't know if there was something else that I'm missing. There's YouTube, there's Discord, there's the next stream, which is going to be Friday. It always feels like there's another thing, but I don't know what it is. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to click the raid button faster. Ciao.